Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my Peaceful Map overview. If you guys ended up missing part 1, then be sure to check out the link in the video's description. So anyways, let me go ahead and let me show you guys everything from outside here so you guys don't get disoriented at everything. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, can I set the weather? Can I set the weather here? I'm not sure if I can. Toggle downfall. Yeah, that much I can do. Cool. So as you can see, it is nighttime out here. And out here, we have a whole bunch of goodies as well. So if we come up right here, this was the very first tower that I ever made. I just kind of made it I actually made this tower as a beacon point because I wanted to, when traveling out large distances, because my render distance was always set to far, I always wanted to be able to see where my home was. And I had the major problem that most people had, that you would get lost all the time in Minecraft. You know, just like with hills like this, it'd be like, you would turn the corner, just turn a corner, and you would get lost, like, because your first home maybe just was something in the side of a hill, and it just didn't quite cut it. So I wanted to have a nice, huge tower, and it didn't look this nice at first. You know, I just had the tower itself built. It was all built out of planks, and then I switched the material to wood, and then I added some trees up here. So a lot of the, you know, oddities and, you know, niceties that are added all around are just things that were added over time. And those pillars out there are cave systems that I've broken out of at one point or another. So you can see that I've done a lot of exploring on this map. So anyways, coming out of this main area here, if you guys want to check out the things that are outside, let me show you guys one of the main features. This is my cannon inspired by Kirshar. Kirshar is one of the original redstone experts. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you guys totally should. He doesn't make that many Minecraft videos these days, or at least maybe he does, but I don't end up seeing them. At least not many of the same type that he used to. But anyways, this is my cannon inspired off of what he did. I wanted to build a cannon that was very neat in the back. I guess it didn't have that much junk in the trunk. And this is set up without any repeaters, or at least this part of it was, because this cannon was actually built before repeaters were ever in the game. Like, I bet some of you have started playing Minecraft like recently and don't even remember a time like that. So anyways, this area of the cannon actually does work that way. However, if I can get out my door here. However, there's an area underground here that feeds into this right here. So basically, this is one giant TNT cannon. All the TNT will fall and will ignite, obviously, as it's, you know, it'll ignite and then it'll fall. But this right here, so let me just go ahead and let me demonstrate here. So if I were to do this right here, that would activate, and then a couple of ticks later, this would activate, which would be perfect timing for a piece of TNT placed here to drop and fire out this way, which leads me over to, oh, and I should probably show you guys this. This is actually a remote launcher for that cannon. This button does the same thing that button does over there, except there's a little bit more of a delay on it, and this sort of like a viewing area for the entire thing. And those logs are a memorial of a giant forest fire that I had in this map. Right when I started it, I set the whole forest on fire because I wanted room to work on my house, and the forest was huge. So those are memorial logs from logs that never burned from that fire. And I made this map well before forest fire was ever nerfed. So anyways, so this area down here is the very, very big cave that I created using that cannon. Using 5 pieces of TNT on that cannon in a specific pattern, launching a piece of TNT down here, created this entire thing. So they all just kind of launched down here, and I kept launching them until it all eventually got to this point where the TNT would constantly explode right in this area. So I can't make this area any bigger if I tried to. So anyways, another thing you guys might be asking as well is, why are the leaves on all of my trees completely discolored? And that's a result of various updates with, you know, leaf decay, an update that used to exist, combined with the fact that, like, basically the way leaf decay used to work is it would change the item ID of the leaves, and they would slightly decay, but then they changed it very quickly. At least I think this is the way it worked. They very quickly changed it back to not do that, and as a result, like, all of the trees that did decay instead turned into different leaves. Like, seriously, there are jungle trees here, and that's actually from a recent update. I believe jungle trees, jungle saplings, jungle trees, jungle biomes, that came in like 1.1 or 1.2. So yeah, I wonder what would happen if they added another leaf type. That would be disastrous. So anyways, moving on here, let's go ahead and let's check out this thing right here. You guys may think this is just a typical statue, and I didn't like the idea of having a statue on my map originally. You know, it just kind of seemed too like self-centered, but I thought of a really cool idea to make the statue have a use. So, and then this right here is a 1 kilometer track, like a 1 kilometer track. So if you guys want to get the 1 kilometer achievement, go ahead and pop, you know, take a minecart out of here, pop it on a track, and there we go. And I should probably set this up to have a dispenser. That'd be kind of cool. Man, I'm thinking of so many updates that I can do as a result of 1.3. But anyways, this is a mob grinder. So inside of my statue is a mob grinder. Yes, that's right. So the head of my statue has a whole bunch of skeleton spawners in it, which lead into water. So if I go ahead, let me give myself a glass block here. So if I go ahead, oh, I didn't actually give it to me. If I go ahead and I break this here, and I come up here, you notice that in the head of my statue, see there are a whole bunch of skeleton spawners with water that attract all of the skeletons into this very hole right here. So let me go ahead and let me set this down here. Let me set it over to normal mode. And then if I go ahead and I head up this ladder here, the mobs are going to start spawning. Well, skeletons in general. They're going to start spawning. And I use skeletons because their drops are the most useful as well. So as you can see, oh, and another question you guys are probably going to ask was, all of this built legitimately? Most of it these days was not built legitimately. So, yeah. Again, I like the idea of building things that have a use but look aesthetically pleasing. Though the original house, the original basement, you know, like a lot of the original looks of things was built by hand. But things like all of the wool, that was all, you know, spawned using creative mode. But I like to do all of the any manual labor that I can. So anyways, mob spawning area. So you can hear all the skeletons pouring in there. If you were to stay there a while, they would spawn constantly, and then they are going to drop right into this area right here. And then right here, splash potions for mob killing. These are not legitimate, obviously, but you know, it's just a lot of fun. It's fun to be able to toss that many right there and then just get a whole ton of experience. It's just a lot of fun. Like, basically, I like the idea of this map, the way this map working. Like, anyone, if they wanted to play it on survival mode, they could, and they could have a lot of fun on it, you know? You could play it on creative and then still have a lot of fun as well. So this minecart track right here, like I said before, I wanted to make it look aesthetically pleasing, and it's nothing too over the top, though I do like the way that it ended up turning out. And this track will go all the way down that way, and it'll circle itself back around and will come back this way. And somewhat near the end of this track, there's actually a secret house. If you guys were to download this map and then look around for, like, I'd say like 50 blocks in any one direction, I think it's when you go down that way, turn a left when you get to the end, and you'll see a pillar. And if you look around that area, there's actually a secret house that I'm not going to show in this video. Something kind of cool. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's move on here, because this video I can tell it's already getting really, really lengthy. So anyways, so this area right here, this is my mob farm. Ever since one of the worst updates I consider in Minecraft's history, with 1.8, I think it was 1.8 or 1.0, the mob breeding update, which I consider to be one of the worst updates in Minecraft's history. Not so much for the breeding part, but because now mobs do not naturally spawn on their own. Like, typically, this area would be riddled with pigs and cows and sheep and chickens, and it would be awesome. It'd be frolicking with animals, and it was, you know, it was really cool. It didn't feel like you were forever alone. But now, if I want to feel not so forever alone, I have to rip a mob out of one of these areas, and, you know, just, yeah. I wonder why there's a chicken down here. They do this sometimes. They like trolling me. I bet that chicken's not even, no, that chicken's really there. Okay, so that chicken managed to get down from up there or something. Okay, this noise is really obnoxious, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna head down from there. But yeah, so this is my mob farm. Looks kind of cool. You know, again, I like to have everything aesthetically pleasing. What I probably should do is use, like, World Edit or something to make these blocks the type that have the wood material on all sides. Just thinking of so many ideas here today. So this right up here is an old house that I built. I wanted to build a house that sort of like oversaw the entire, like, as I was progressing on the map, there is a mountain here. Well, there still kind of is. There still is a mountain here. The house is built into it. And I wanted to see the progress of the map as I was making it. You know, I like the idea, like, originally when I made this area before that cannon was ever there. I built it before the statue was ever there, before that bridge was ever there, before the mob farm was ever there. So you can imagine how empty this area was, you know, prior to me making this, you know, prior to everything else being there. So inside of here, really not a whole lot, you know, to to talk about. You know, just simple chest areas. I just wanted to have a nice area here. There is a cave system that I dug down into, and then I made myself, you know, a lighting system, which is right above it, so you can see the mining shaft. I used to dig out mining shafts like crazy until I realized how commonplace cave system entrances were. So, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, kind of a cool area. I don't know. I just kind of like it. I think it feels very much welcome. And this mountain was feeling very empty when I made it. And that's why I wanted to build this. I wanted to have something that looked really, really cool. And I think I did an okay job at it. So anyways, moving on over here. Looks like the lighting just kind of reset on me there. That was kind of weird. I'm not sure if I'm at short, medium, or far render distances. It looked like my render distance actually changed there. That was a little bit weird. Let me see here. Let's see. Render distance is set to far. So, all right, that was kind of weird. But anyways, this is my lighthouse here. There's no real point to this lighthouse because obviously you don't need a lighthouse in Minecraft. Whenever I come along this bay area, like, I am not lost if I'm in this area. So you might use it like, basically the whole point is if there ever were spotlights in Minecraft, then I could use this as a means of shooting spotlights out in every different direction. So these lights light up sequentially here. So you're going to see that one. This one is going to light up. Okay, you see that. Oh, no, that one will light up, then this one, and then this one over here will light up, and then this one over here will light up. And the way that works is by a moving minecart that never stops that is in this area. So if I climb up the staircase here, and again, I mean, even for things as subtle as this, I like to make them aesthetically pleasing. So let's head up here into this area, and as you can see, there is a minecart that is circling all around this thing, and then it lights up these torches, which lights up this area right here, which will light up all of the lamps. And I love it. I love this entire thing. I don't know why. It's just because, like, in redstone terms, it's so simple, but again, it's like so complex, you know. And I'm a fan of making things like that push the boundaries of my redstone limits. So that was definitely one of those things. This area right here, you might just think it's like a naturally looking like moat that just kind of perfectly goes out from here out to the ocean, which this entire area, like, you can get a far ways away from this home. All the water is connected in natural ways that just craft really cool. But this lake originally was not connected to that body of water. So I took a ton of TNT to this thing. I blew it all up, and then I placed all kinds of dirt back, and then I just kind of let it sit. And I was originally going to get rid of this little island. Like, I was going to droop all of this off into the ocean. But then I looked at it, and I just got overwhelmed by the amount of work that I'd have to do. So I thought it looked kind of cool. Just throw a tree on this island. Call it good. It ended up working out perfectly. So anyways, guys, I think I've covered almost everything. I know there's going to be things that I've missed here. But this right here, this is the boat dock. Yeah, you can press any one of these buttons and a boat will be dispensed out of these dispensers. And the last thing that I want to show you guys here is my automatic sugarcane farm. Yes, we are finally down to the end of the Peaceful Map tour. So this right here is an automatic sugarcane farm. This is one of the first, you know, redstone sort of like cool redstone devices that I ever made. And basically, this farm right here will harvest the sugarcane every 10 minutes. Originally, it was a 5-minute harvest, but the growth of sugarcane slowed down immensely, so I made it a 10-minute farm. And then this right here, this is the refueling room. So basically what happens is that this dispenser will dispense out a golden apple. Yeah, I made it golden apples just for the lulz. But it'll dispense out a golden apple right down there. And then every other time a golden apple lands on that pressure plate, it'll send out a redstone signal, which will fire out all of those. And the way that works is through a T flip-flop. And if you guys are not aware of what a T flip-flop is, then be sure to I don't know, maybe look up some redstone stuff, look up some redstone tutorials. Because, you know, getting into redstone, like, if you guys are like, if any of you out there are like math geeks or anything like that, like you just had like your, okay, there we go. So it looks like that went through. I'm not sure if the thing fired off, if I was close enough to it. No, it doesn't look like I was. So I think on the next cycle through is when all of those are going to fire. So let's go ahead and let's trigger it. Let's see here. Oh, I collected the golden apple by mistake. So as a result, all of these are forced out, and then when the golden apple re-lands on the pressure plate, that's when all of them retract. So it's just kind of like a timing thing that's set so perfectly so that they'll instantly extend and then unextend, and we'll cut all of the hedges. And maybe I'll make it like a 20-minute timer or something like... Oh, I didn't mean to put that in there. I might make it like a 20-minute timer, because even at this point, all of the sugarcane never grows out. It never grows completely. And that's what I like it to do. I like it to grow as close to 3 high as it can before I go harvesting it. Wow. Okay, then. I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover with this Peaceful Map. maybe not, because now I'm looking at the sugarcane farm and I'm like, maybe I should show off the sugarcane farm that I said I was going to show off. So let me go ahead and let me do that here. So as you guys could see the sugarcane from upstairs there, if I go through these doors and I fly up here, this was one of the very first sort of advanced type creations that I ever made, because I wanted to be able to farm cactus, because I originally had a green floor in that pixel map area there, and I wanted to be able to farm out the materials for it. Or actually, no, I made this before I made it as the colored wool update came in, which was beta 1.2. Yeah, try to imagine a time in Minecraft without colored wool. Yeah. So anyways, and that was an email. So as you guys can see here, this is a cactus farm. Whenever a cactus grows, it will grow, pop out, and then drop. And every now and then, you know, actually, like a lot of the time, the cactus will grow and then will drop onto itself. But every now and then, a cactus will not drop onto itself and then will automatically flow down here. We'll flow down into this area, and then as you can see, there are a couple of cactus over there. It looks like I can actually hear one there. So it looks like a cactus dropped into there, then dropped down here, and it's going to flow all the way over to here. Let me see if I can get over here in time. So you can see it'll drop down right there, and then we'll just drop down right here for me to collect. So it's just like a lazy farm. Even though it's not the most efficient thing in the world, it's a lazy cactus farm. Yeah. I spend way too much time on Minecraft. I guess I should be thankful that it's my job to play this game, or my YouTube stuff is my job. So yeah, I have a lot of fun doing it, and I have a lot of fun entertaining people.
Where we are. Robots can't drink, but I know that I can. Even on a double doses, I can. Dish that riffraff, anybody's opiates, and arms traded like my veins from Taipan. That's the part of the night where I black out. 2 sheets to the wind, need a smack now. No sheets, no wah-wah, only roll phone when this town stop playing Joe Stackhouse. I got my vices, they got the ices, and maybe we trapped all the night.